hi, I'm Howard Schwartz. I'm the marketing director here at Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex, and I want to welcome you guys here to our ATX, or Astronaut Training Experience. And what we do here in this building is we like to kind of simulate what astronauts have done in their training missions and have them trained to get ready to go to Mars. Right? And there's a vehicle that takes you over to Mars and Mars Base 1. So we're going to walk through, kind of show you guys what this building is like and what the simulators are like. So the first one here, we have our Orion capsule, which actually simulates launch. So you have a launch team inside here, and then you have a control team in the building here. And then the educators, they'll switch, and you'll learn both experience on launching and how to launch a vehicle. When we move over here.
Both sides of it.
Absolutely. And that's the great thing about this. This is very much an education and hands-on education center. So they're going to get all these experience, and they're both going to get both sides of the experience. So when you go over here, like to our Land Rover simulator, this is driving on Mars, right? And there are two people inside the vehicle, and there's somebody here controlling, right? So they're controlling where to go. They're telling you to go left and right, and you know, if they tell you to go off a cliff, you're going to spin a lot, right? Go off the cliff. But then you get the chance because you always switch. Okay. So they'll be in the simulator next, right? So they always get the experience, and they get a turn, exactly, right? If we keep moving over here, we have a VR experience over here, which is walking on Mars, right? So you have both a VR headset and you have these handhelds, which actually, you're walking around Mars and you're picking up, the idea is to pick up different Mars rocks and put it in the bags, right? And have the communicator, which is sitting in the seat, really explain to you what you're doing, what you're looking for on Mars.
You watch that.
And you watch that all from these seats here and these headsets. You're watching what that person's doing. You see what they see in the VR headset. So you're telling them to go left and right, and there's instructions on there on how to teach them and where to go.
Oh, nice.
Right? And then something that's probably near to your heart is our microgravity simulator here, which simulates you.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, you guys all did this, so you know what it's like doing a spacewalk.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? So this is our microgravity beds, which are air beds, and it is a simulation of exactly how you go on a spacewalk.
Yeah, yeah. Nobody died. Huh?
That's good.
Nobody died.
I had fun.
I made it back in 10 seconds and unlocked the box. And
There you go. You actually did very well then, because a lot of times people go spinning in these things.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, I wanted to go spin.
We'll have to get you back on it then.
Okay, I'll do.
So once you do these experiences, you're now kind of a trainee, an astronaut trainee, right? And what we do is then we take you over to Mars.
Okay.
Right? And
I'm
if
ready.
you come through here, we have something called our Mars Transfer Vehicle, or MTV. Just come up the ramp. Right? And as you can see, we're going onto our Mars Transfer Vehicle, which, as you expect, is sitting on the launch pad at Kennedy Space Center. I'm going to have you watch your step here. Right? We'll all come in, I'll have you watch your step. You guys just all watch your step as you go in. Watch your step. So in here, what you do is you sit down in here, right? And this is our Mars Transfer Vehicle. We will not do the full simulation right now, but what it does is it actually is going to take you to Mars, right? Now, of course, it takes a long time to get to Mars, so we put you in hypersleep.
Okay.
And so you go into hypersleep, and it's amazing. It's only about 5 minutes for us to get from here to Mars, right? Doors open up, and now we're sitting on Mars Base 1. Okay? So on Mars Base 1, what you do here as a new astronaut trainee, you're going to learn how to live and work on Mars. And there are different stations that you're going to go to. So our operations area is one here.
Where's Matt Damon and all of this?
Funny enough, I will show you that next.
Okay.
I won't show you Matt, unfortunately. I'm sure we'd all like to meet him, but you're going to be learning how to work satellites, how to do cartography, how to do hazards. And then, of course, unfortunately, sometimes mishaps happen.
Right.
Red lights go on, right? And then all of a sudden on your screen, you're going to have to learn how to do certain things to help save Mars Base 1, right? And keep it under control.
Wow.
Our next one is a botany lab. Now, you guys went to Veggie Works.
Yeah.
Right? So we work a lot with them, right? And we work a lot with NASA to help control the different lights. Right? They kind of tell us which lights they want to see, simulating what might grow on the International Space Station. Right? So a lot of our students, because this center is one of our education centers, a lot of our students that come in, they'll take some of the plants, they'll bring it here, and we actually do live samples. We record all the samples on the screen, so the kids are learning, they're educating, and all this information goes to NASA. It goes to the Veggie Lab, where they learn and they take all that to how to grow better plants and the ability to maybe grow on Mars one day.
Wow.
So this is a fully working botany lab that students actually participate in and do a lot of the work, which is fantastic when they come for camp.
So the beauty of all of this is that you touch on so many different areas of science, right?
Absolutely,
You-
STEM is very important.
So, and are you getting, do you ever see the light bulbs go off with the kids in
We do.
terms of seeing?
So we do camp here every summer.
Uh-huh.
All of our camp students come through this. We have some international camps. And to what you said, one child, first day on Monday morning, came in and was, oh, I'm not excited, don't really like science at all, I don't do well in math, right? By Friday afternoon, the same child, same little girl, was so excited to go back and start doing science.
Nice.
Right? She wanted to now be an astronaut after her 5-day experience here. So it's pretty amazing.
When they come in the lab, do they, how long would a student be in there, for example? Do they have an opportunity to plant a seed or to do some of those rudimentary things?
They do, absolutely.
Okay.
And it all depends on the growth cycle,
Okay.
right? So it
Okay.
depends on what the
Of
growth
the
cycle is of each
plants.
of the plants.
Okay.
Correct. But they do get a chance to
Okay.
plant, they get a chance to learn about what the different soils are and how it's not the traditional soil, right? And then again, they get to be able to pick some of the things, and if it's ripe and it's ready, they even get to try it.
And do the botanists that we met, do they work with the kids
They
here?
work with us, right, and help us to determine
To
what
set
they
it
want
up.
to be planted and how they want it planted. So we work with veg labs, especially for that.
And how do the kids respond when they're growing these and watching them grow and then eating them or having the opportunity?
So one of the best experiences, especially during camp, is the last day, they take their parents, right? So when the parents pick up, we have an hour that the kids come through, and they take their parents through all the experiences.
Oh, nice.
This is the most popular experience, right? They want to show everybody what they did, they want to talk about the plants, they want to talk about what they learned about it. So to me, that shows me on how much this is impressionable to the kids.
So how do people find out about this in terms of want our kids to come and participate?
So we have our full camps, right, which they participate in, but also we have the training experience that we can do for our day guests. So where available, our day guests can actually come in and do like the microgravity bed that you guys
I think
did.
what Sybil was asking about, say when she goes to Chicago
Right.
and
Right.
goes, on the south side of Chicago, how does a teacher know that this even exists?
So we do have our own website, we do
Okay,
have an
okay.
education, and we also have educational outreach programs.
Okay.
That we especially try to reach, the different schools throughout Florida and then.
Yes.
And throughout the country?
Yes.
Okay. And you said international too, right?
Well, we do get international camps that come
Okay.
in here also,
Okay.
right? And a lot of that is through experiences that other, their other schools have
Sure.
had, the classes had in schools, and also obviously, through word of
I
mouth.
would
and
love
other
for kids from the
experiences.
south side of Chicago to be able to come down
Oh,
and
absolutely.
experience this, yeah.
Do you work with an organization, say like the NEA or the National Teachers Association?
We try to
when
work
they have
with-
a conference that comes over here and try to get them to come in so they know and then they can take it back.
Yeah,
to
we do work with the
50
teacher
states.
associations
Okay.
and talk to them about kind of the educational opportunities that we have. And then we do have we do an outreach program. We are affiliated with an outreach program that does reach out to the schools.
And do you have it for teachers who want to do this as well, so that they can go?
Well, they come with the class,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, and so they get to do it as well with their students. Okay.
Absolutely.
How much does it cost?
Well, it depends on what your program is. Some a normal day program, like if you're if you're just a family that wants to come in here and you want to do a half-day program, it's 175 person to do that side. And it's a 6-hour program. You get lunch with it, and it's a full day experience.
Do you grow
Now,
the
certain-
lunch that?
We don't do that.
Okay.
And what we do in here, this is fascinating too. So all of these tables here, right? These are solar panels. They're covered during the day. They're going to be covered with little bits, and you can kind of feel one here. Right? That's one of them, right? These little bits that they're covered with, right? And what happens is that you have 4 of these robots, right? Everybody has a station.
Okay.
You have to work together as a team. That's what we talk a lot about with this center, is about team collaboration. It's a lot about communication, right? And so it's all about STEM learning, right? So you have to work together as a team to clear this off.
Oh.
And the OLED there, and when it's turned on, this OLED machine, it will show you how well you're doing, right? Because it takes energy to run these,
Sure.
right? So if you're not doing a good job, you're using too much energy, this will actually tell you, you're not doing a very good job. You now have to choose what you're going to shut off at Mars Base 1. People are either not going to get hot food, they don't get a hot shower, they're not going to be able to get lights until you clear this off. So it's a learning thing on how you have to work together and how the solar energy works to actually power Mars Base 1.
Right. Oh.
So,
And we as adults could use that,
Yeah.
that learning lesson.
so that's the end of our full tour of our ATX facility, our brand new ATX facility.
And you said you've been in existence for about a year and a half?
About a year and a half. This opened up, this is our initial opening of this was February of this past year.
Uh-huh.
And then the grand opening, if you want to call it that, so February of 2018. And then the grand opening was August of 2018 with our key sponsor, Lucky.
And so
Exactly.
I think they've done an incredible job personally, you know, in transitioning from, they did all this stuff with reference to shuttle. So a kid would come in, would be the pilot and the commander and maybe a payload specialist or
Sure.
something. And now having all this where you go from Earth to Mars and do stuff on Mars is.
And do the
pretty
kids,
interesting.
well, I don't know if the kids do, but are the adults grasping this, you know, preparation for Mars and all of that?
I think when the alarms are going off, it says that you have to choose if you want a hot shower or not.
Yeah,
You know,
right.
the kids really start grasping it also. And what's great is, you know, like you do have the windows that in here, and you'll see like a rover will drive by the window, right? Right? So there's this activity that goes on to really kind of help simulate that you're living a life on Mars right
Yeah.
now. So
And
that's
still
what
no
this
man
part is.
payments, okay.